Are now online. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to what I hope will be a rather crazy evening of mashing up Harry Potter with Die Hard. I'm going to introduce my guests here, and they are going to tell the audience here about their characters. We'll start from my far left with Andrew Cady.
Hi everybody, I am Andrew Cady, and I am playing Kaye, who is a weird wizard who controls beasts. And he's got a lot of other idiosyncrasies to him, because he's weird.
Okay, and next we have Bijaya Shrestha? Is that
Shrestha. Shrestha. Close.
Close. I tried.
I am Ophelia Storm, and she's a jovial speaker who never says die.
Never says die. All right. And then we have Bree Sheldon.
Hi, I'm playing Flashbang, who's an inquisitive warrior who fights with panache.
All right. And then it's Dee Shu.
Hi, I am Dwayne. I am going to be playing Nigel Fingerbottom, who is the oldest sophomore at Hogwarts. I don't know if we're from Hogwarts. I'm 26 years old because I'm not very smart, but I stay there because my parents donate a lot of money to the university. And I am terrified of everything except when I go into a rage, which is caused by the other students when they call me my horrible nickname that I hate called Stinky. So I am a craven adept who rages, but the rage is controlled by the rest of you. So you just call me Stinky and I fly into a rage.
I love that, by the way. That's a fantastic way to trigger off the rage.
Yeah.
Next we got Darcy Ross.
Hi, so I will be playing Ellie, a dishonorable speaker who negotiates million-dollar deals for breakfast / interprets the law. And so she's gonna, I think, get along quite well with some of you / fight with all of you. And her parents are very high in the Wizengamot. Okay, so don't give her any lip. That's kind of her shtick.
And anybody who's familiar with Die Hard will recognize Harry Ellis.
Yes.
In Darcy's character, which was wonderful because it means I don't have to play him as an NPC.
I'll do what I can.
And last but not least, Michael Kay.
Hi, Michael. I'm playing Mark Kirkson, who's a mystical adept who focuses mind over matter. He's kind of a shy freshman, just came to the school.
Excellent. All right, so a little bit about our school. The Nakatomi Tower for Arcane Achievement is actually hidden in the upper floors of the Chrysler Building in New York City. Because what building in New York City looks more like a Wizard's Tower than the Chrysler Building? There is none. The school has 200-ish students across 5 years, and relatively small staff. And it is a dormitory type school. Everything is in the building, but everything is also somewhat extra-dimensional. So, for instance, there is a common room floor, or a common floor where there are like lounges and libraries and whatnot, and there are portals that go to gardens and gazebos and whatnot, so you can get outside. Just because you're in New York City doesn't mean that you can't get outside. The evening is the annual Halloween party. So everybody is dressed up in costume. So why don't we find out what our heroes are dressed up as? We will start, this time I'll start from the right. So Mark / Michael, what are you dressed up as?
I was thinking as a big green felt dragon.
Okay, excellent.
Awesome.
Darcy?
So the camera zooms in on Ellie, who is facing away from it and gives a big snort. And Ellie is dressed up like Trump, very obviously, and she's got two two guests at the school who are like blonde and beautiful, and no one has ever met before. So that's what Ellie's doing.
Now tell me, is Ellie wearing gloves that give her really tiny fingers?
No, and she'll sue you for saying that.
All right. Let's see. Next, we've got Mr. Fingerbottom, Nigel.
I said, make Nakatomi great again.
Oh my gosh.
Nigel is dressed up as a bright pink Paddington bear as he hides by the punch bowl. I'm scared to talk to anybody.
That's so tragic.
Nice.
Also, we have two introverts in this group.
And we have Flashbang.
Flash is wearing what could best be described as the most fancy tux designed in the way of Ursula, the sea witch from The Little Mermaid, that you could ever possibly imagine.
Fantastic. And let's see, Ophelia Storm.
Ophelia is dressed up as the most majestic lion that you could think of.
Ooh, okay.
A lioness, I'm sorry.
Oh, well, I don't want to judge. Whatever floats your boat. All right, and last but not least, Kaye.
So Kaye is so the camera starts on this great, gorgeous little Scopes owl. It's tiny and it's sitting on a branch. And as you zoom out, you see that Kaye is just dressed as a branch. He takes his owl with him everywhere, so he's this big branch, and that the owl is just sitting on.
Fantastic. We have 4 viewers at the moment, and I want to remind viewers that somewhere in the YouTube interface, I have no idea where, there is a Q&A button which will allow you to ask questions and, if you would like, to submit ideas for GM intrusions to this game. I will use them as I am able, and the players will not have the ability to reject those. So that is an option for you. Okay. So the party is going on. It's mid-evening. It's, let's say, 7:30-ish. Things are going pretty well. You 6 have decided to sneak off. So the main portion of the party is taking place in the conservatory, which is a large gardened room. It's part greenhouse, part lounge, basically. The greenhouse windows look out into some, let's say, New Zealand landscape, because, magic. And it, of course, is early morning in New Zealand at this point, and so the sun's coming up, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. It's like, take the best shot from The Hobbit, and then, like, that's what's out the window. But you guys have snuck out of the conservatory area and are actually hanging around in the billiards room. There's a couple of other groups of students that are hanging around in this room as well, playing pool or just talking quietly. Let's see here. Bree, why has this group of 6, the 6 of you, why have you snuck off?
I think that there were some particular musical choices at this Halloween party that we were all summarily offended by, and chose to walk off and ended up in a group together because we were complaining about the same thing.
Okay. All right.
Twinkie, it was really way too loud in there, wasn't it? Twinkie is the name of the owl. That's the only thing he talks to.
Is he like yellow with like white fur on his stomach or something?
Not at all.
Or is he just like cream filled?
Yeah.
He's a Twinkie golem in the shape of an owl. That would actually be great. I got a comment here from Andrew Lyon saying, "Woohoo! Time to deal out some hurt. Too bad John Marvin isn't playing." John Marvin pretty much electric shocked me with the eels in a previous game last week. So yeah. Okay, so you guys are all in the billiards room. You know, things are going okay. There's some music going on. You can hear quite a bit of commotion coming from down the hall where the conservatory is. And then you hear screams, like panicked screams, and some guttural voices, like. And what do you guys want to do?
Hide behind the pool table on the far side.
Okay.
Crouch down.
So Nigel runs to the other side of the pool table that's furthest away from the conservatory and kind of crouches down, like barely peeking over.
I'm probably the last one that came in the room, so I'm just gonna kind of back the way we came.
All right, so you're gonna lean
my dragon
out the
head
door.
coming out this way.
All right, so you take a look down the hall, and in the area of the conservatory, you see a group of people that are dressed up like orcs, and they've got shields and like axes or clubs or whatnot, some sort of weapon in hand, and they're making a noise. And there's a tall blonde man in a tracksuit, and you're not entirely sure if he's supposed to be Steve Austin or Brock Sampson, but he's one or the other. You can't quite tell which. And he seems to be leading these orcs around, but there's like almost a dozen orcs like following around behind, and they're corralling people, like students that were like in the hallway or in other rooms, and they're corralling them into the conservatory, like by force.
I address my bird and say, I really think that these creatures are up to no good. There's trouble afoot, isn't there?
I look at him and say, "Yeah."
Does anybody want to do anything?
If there's still screams going, I probably would want to head in that direction. I don't know if anyone else would follow me, but I would like to see what's going on.
Okay. Is anybody going to go with Flashbang?
I would probably hang back and see what plans we can make, and just plans to see what we would do.
We would follow if somebody would lead, wouldn't we?
All right, so Flashbang is leaving. Ophelia is staying. I'm assuming that Nigel is staying.
Nigel is staying, but he's not staying alone. Never alone.
Darcy, what is Ellie doing?
Yeah, Ellie's fiddling with her crappy internet connection on her cell phone, but then she realizes what's happening, and she's going to storm off and give one of those orcs a piece of her mind.
All right, so you and Flashbang, what is Mark doing? Michael.
I'm activating a power.
Oh, all right.
So I'm gonna activate my deflect attacks power, 1 intellect point. For the next 10 minutes, I'm trained in speed defense tasks.
Okay. And for the beginners in the audience and or the room, so he would be spending a point from his intellect pool. I believe he is an adept. Is that correct? Mark is an adept? Yeah. Adepts have an edge in intellect, so that 1 point cost is actually reduced to 0 by his edge, and he can just use the power for free.
I forgot that. Thanks. I already jotted down the point. I'll put it back.
Well, yeah, I'll let you take it back.
And I'm gonna follow after, but I'm a little scared. I'm gonna fall back and get my wand ready.
Okay, so you take out your wand, and you've got your defensive power up, and you're starting to creep along behind Ellie and Flashbang.
Dragon suit.
Yeah, in this fell dragon suit. Do you have wings as well?
No, it's mostly a dinosaur like Godzilla type thing with a big dragon head on top.
Okay. All right, so you look a little bit like Barney, but in green.
Not that big a head, no. Not that big a head.
All right, so the three of you make your way down. So to get to the conservatory from here, you've got to pass by the art studio, which is one of the only classrooms that's not actually on one of the classroom levels. Because who wants to do art in a sterile, old, boring classroom environment? And you poke your head inside the studio as you walk by, and there's nobody in there. It's pretty quiet. You do see some abandoned drink cups and like wrappers from candy that people have eaten. So there was somebody in here. And as you get closer to the conservatory, you see that all of the orcs are roughly the same. And why don't we take give me a perception roll, somebody in that group. And so that would be if you have training in perception, that will reduce the difficulty by 1. It is an intellect-based task, so if you would like to spend effort, that'll come from intellect.
All right, who wants to do it?
So Ellie tried and failed miserably. Not a 1, but no training in it. I rolled a 5.
So you passed a difficulty of 2 then?
Yeah.
or no, a difficulty of 1 because you said a 5. Yeah.
Which is in character.
Kaye is too busy, looking at Twinkie and changing his color to yellow with hedge magic that he doesn't pay attention either. So he also rolled a 5. So.
Okay. Did anybody else try a perception roll?
Ursula?
And roll.
That's a D20, right?
Yes, that is a D20.
Okay.
I got a 12.
I got a 4 on my
Okay.
roll.
All right, so a 4 is only a level 1, but a 12 is a level 4, and that is enough. So Mark is kind of creeping along at the back of the pack here with his wand at the ready, and he's really giving those orcs an eye, and he's convinced that those are not people in costume, that those are actual orcs.
Guys, I think those are the real thing. I don't think that's a costume. I whisper.
You in the what now?
Those are real orcs. Those aren't costumes.
Now,
This is freaky.
let's see here. So
Paddington
Nigel,
might be let's say Paddington might be seeing things again, isn't it?
Paddington.
No,
If you want-
Paddington is Nigel.
Oh, I'm sorry. I screwed that up then. Completely.
Puff the
There's
Magic
Nigel.
Dragon is Mark.
Yeah.
All right, so Nigel and Kaye and Ophelia are still in the billiards room, if I remember correctly. And I'm going to offer Nigel a good old-fashioned GM intrusion, which I know he cannot reject because he has no experience playing.
All right.
You get 1, and you get to give 1 to anybody else that you want.
Except me, because I'm dishonorable and everyone hates me, mechanically.
Yes, mechanically, you are not allowed to give points to Ellie, which is fantastic.
So good.
That is pretty great. I will give it to Kaye because I like the vibe of someone who dresses as a branch and has a bird. I think that's a great idea. So
Okay.
All right.
While you guys are in the billiards room, one of the doors to the room opens up. So there's more than one exit to the billiards room. In fact, most of these rooms have more than one exit. But a door opens up in the back of the billiards room, and 2 orcs come into the room and immediately start yelling at people in this guttural orcish language. And they're brandishing their weapons, and they have their shields on their arms, and they're trying to force everybody in the room out the door into the hallway.
Force is not required for Nigel. He just hustles right out there. But as he's going, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. And he's kind of flexing his fingers like this, and you can see that claws kind of sprout out of the Paddington bear outfit as he's walking. And that is my power sculpt flesh.
Nice.
Nice.
So I am good to go on that for 10 minutes
Okay.
as I hustle out.
All right, so you're going to hustle out. Most of the other students are hustling out. A couple are, a couple of the older boys are like, hey, what the heck's going on here? Ophelia and Kai, what do you guys want to do?
I hope Ophelia's gonna stick around and see if she can help one of the older guys figure these orcs out. We're like, don't tell us what to do.
Okay, where is this happening at? Because I thought I went with the first group.
I thought you stayed in the billiards room.
No, I said if somebody leads, we will follow.
Oh, okay. All right. So you're in the conservatory, or you're approaching the conservatory. All right. So it's just Ophelia and Nigel here then. Okay. So a couple of the boys are like, standing up to the orcs. Ophelia, do you want to say anything to the orcs? Do you want to do anything to the orcs, or are you just going to kind of be there for support if needed?
I wanna. So I have this understanding thing.
Ooh.
So I wanna see if I can see what they're all about.
Awesome.
Okay. Let me just quickly pull that up because I do not recall what that does.
It says you observe or study a creature or object.
The next time you interact with the difficulty. Yeah, okay. So you're going to spend 2 intellect points. If you have intellect edge, which I believe your character does, you can reduce that by 1.
Okay.
So it'll cost 1 of your points.
So I just roll a d20?
You roll a d20, yes. And this is a difficulty of 2. Which is going to be a 6 or higher. If you would like to put effort into the task, you can actually make it even easier than that. But you basically have about a 70% chance to succeed, so...
I'll just try it. Let's see.
Okay. Do it.
I got 11.
All right.
Nice.
So you succeed. So you look at these orcs, and you reach the same conclusion that Mark did a few minutes before, or perhaps a few seconds, depending on time, which is that this is definitely not like a student in costume pulling a prank. This is an actual orc, and it is actually threatening you with an actual weapon.
All right. So hedging her chances, she's just gonna duck out of the room really fast.
Okay.
Like, all right, well, I can't take these orcs on, and they're too big. I'm just gonna leave with the other students.
All right. So you kind of slip into the group that's being pushed out the door.
But I try to get to the very front of the group, just through the crowd.
Nigel sort of clings to you, like shaking.
Fantastic. All right, so let's see here. So going back to the other group, you hear so you're in the hallway, and you've kind of managed to remain unseen thus far. You hear orcs and students behind you now, coming from the direction of the billiards room. Does anybody want to turn around and look?
Yes, I will definitely turn around and look.
All right. You see a bunch of students being coming out of the billiards room. Some of them are like really pissed off looking and just like angry. There's a couple of the younger ones that are actually a little frightened. You see Ophelia kind of push her way out, of the group and into the hallway. Right behind her is like Nigel, almost piggyback at this point, like trying to climb up onto her as best he can. And then you see 2 more orcs follow, push the rest of the group out. In fact, they're actually starting to strike a couple of the older boys who had been standing up to them with their weapons, not hard and not with the flats of blades and whatnot, but they're beating on them with their swords and beating on them with their shields and forcing them along.
So we basically have nowhere to go, right?
Well, so you're in a hallway. And you're right in front of the art studio, so you could duck in there, or you could run down the hall, past the trophy room, which would lead towards the dining room and the kitchen. There's a lot of other stuff going on this floor, or you could stand your ground where you are. The choice is yours.
I'm not
You're also
exactly.
relatively near. Just one last thing, though. You're also relatively near the central stairwells, which are. It's not really stairs, but that's sort of the best way to describe it. It's more like a magical anti-gravity fields that go up and down. And so you move between floors that way. It's basically just a hole with a field that goes up and a field that goes down. You kind of step in, step off when you want to.
I turn to the dragon beside me, and then I address my owl and say, you know, say Twinkie, did you realize that some people think that orcs are actually sapient sponges, or fungi, and not actual, flesh and blood creatures?
I got a comment
the
here.
dragon here seems to think they're real.
I got a comment from Judd Goswick. It says, "Be bold, bash an orc, and take his tucky shell."
I will say that Flash is not a big fan of seeing other people get hurt, and seeing the other students get beat around the head and stuff. Might encourage her to dash into danger, so she's probably gearing up for it. If you guys really don't want her to do that, you're going to have to probably grab her attention first, because she's pretty intent.
Which way is she going?
Towards the kids that are coming out of the billiards room that are getting shoved around by the orcs.
I say, look, if you want to do something, maybe those guys are the best targets because there's less of them.
Yeah, there's only 2 of those orcs.
Twinkie's claws start to get sharper as well, as I use Culp Fresh, and I tell Twinkie, that it looks like action is afoot, Twinkie. Go for the eyes. Go for the eyes, Twinkie.
Oh, excellent. Yeah,
All right,
I mean,
so
if I see Flashbang getting ready to kick some orc butt, what did I call her? Ellie. Ellie's going to be going to start hurling insults at the nearest orc, and enthrall the orc theoretically, so that I can't attack.
All right. Why don't you make a roll for that?
Okay.
We'll see if you can't get the attention to hold it.
A natural 1. Oh, Ellie, you're my favorite. You're playing someone character. The dice know. Excellent. So free GM intrusion.
All right. So free GM intrusion. All right. I am going to.
Sorry, guys.
I am going to
That's
have.
great.
So you get the orc's attention. That much you did succeed on. Unfortunately, you got his angry attention, and he moves right up and just backslaps you with his with his shield. I'm going to need you to make a speed defense roll.
Excellent. So I start going off about how Gondor is going to build a wall. We're going to build a wall. It's going to be a big one. My speed defense is terrible.
Around Gondor, yeah.
I beat a level 1. So
All
I
right.
rolled a
You
4.
are going to be hit for 4 points of damage to your might,
Oof.
and you get thrown to the ground.
Excellent.
And I'm going to have everybody roll some initiative now, because at this point it's on. It's official.
Okay.
And Bree, you're going to get a one step bonus on this from your use of sorry, not Bree. Wait, yeah, no, it was Bree. It was. Who did understanding? I'm confused
I did.
now. Okay, well, it's over. All right. Sorry, 6 characters is a little bit much.
Yeah.
So you're going to get a 1-step bonus on your initiative. And initiative is just a d20, and you're trying to beat the level of the creature that you're in combat with. And so orcs are level 2 creatures, which means that you've got to beat a 6. In your case, since you have the asset, you only need to beat a level 1, which is a 3 or higher.
Oh, I got 11?
I got a 3.
So you do succeed. Andrew?
I rolled a 10.
Okay. Bree?
7.
All right. And Dwayne?
I rolled a 6, but I am a coward, so I have inability and initiative tasks. So.
Awesome.
Nice. All right. And Darcy?
Let's see. Sorry, I assumed I was just going last. I rolled a 19.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay. All right. So everybody but Nigel will be going before the orcs. And you rolled a 19, Darcy, so what would you like for a minor effect? I will take suggestions. I also have... I think what was intended to be a GM intrusion idea from Andrew Lyon. It says the orc thinks you are hitting on him and tries to make a move. Enthrall works, but he follows you around like a puppy dog. Unfortunately, I went with a different direction on that one. But I might hold that in reserve.
Yeah, that can totally happen later.
That happens to you all the time.
Yeah, exactly. They love me. Everybody loves me.
Yeah. Because they're huge.
I can't think of what my minor effect should be. If anyone has an idea, let me know.
All right. As a minor effect, I think what I'll do is I'll allow your first action to have an asset.
Sweet. That's great. Okay.
And so now the 5 of you who rolled better than the orcs, y'all get a chance to go. The way I do it is you can move around in specific initiative order however you like. So if one person wants to go first to set up for another, that's how you can do it. I don't hold to strict initiative orders. Just as long as everybody who rolled better than the orcs goes first, and then the orcs, and then the other people.
So a little owl goes flying towards the orcs.
All right.
Attacking them in their eyes, or trying to at least.
Okay.
Goes screeching off the animated branch.
All right, so make a roll.
All right. All right, I rolled a 15.
All right, that will definitely hit.
All right, so I sculpted flesh on my owl's claws, on Twinkie's claws, so it does 4 points of damage, I think, now. I'm not quite sure how that works. It's a level 2 creature, so it would normally do. Yeah.
It doesn't get any. It's not a special creature or anything, so it would do 2 damage, and the sculpt flesh adds 2, so yeah, 4 damage.
Well,
modified
flesh adds 4, or makes unarmed attacks do 4 damage. That's basically.
Oh, it just makes them do 4 damage.
Correct.
Okay.
That's what it is. Yeah.
All right. Well, you the orc gets some armor, but your Twinkie goes flying at one of the orcs, and kind of comes at it with its feet clawing, and then just kind of swoops off and doubles back around, and the orc takes 2 points of damage from its health.
All right.
All right. Who is next?
I'll go next. I'm gonna onslaught the orc that just hit Ellie. I'm gonna do a mental onslaught.
Mental onslaught. Okay.
Yeah, so that's just free. It 2 points of intellect damage, ignores armor.
All right. You've still got to make a roll though.
11.
That will do. So 2 points off of that one. So he gets like a little bit of a nosebleed. He's like, what? Let's see here. Bijaya and Darcy both had initiatives that were higher. So who wants to go next?
So I think Ellie's just gonna get right back up and start spewing some slur nonsense, as is her wont. She's a jerk. Cool. So I'm gonna re-roll if that's cool.
Okay, so you're trying to enthrall again?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm gonna do the one that's theoretically not been hit.
Okay.
Right? So I'm gonna talk to you.
No, they've both been hit once.
Okay, then the one that knocked me down.
Okay.
And I rolled a nat 20 because it's all 1s and 20s here over at Ellitown.
All right. Do you want to?
I think it falls in love with me.
Yeah, I think what we'll do is I think I'm going to do this.
Ooh.
So you're going to get an experience and one to give out.
Okay.
And this orc not only is enthralled, but it goes a little bit beyond.
Oh boy.
And you get sort of a little pink magical aura surrounds it, and the next thing you know, it's like, making angry eyes at its buddy.
Awesome.
We'll take Andrew's idea and we will run with that.
That's great. Michael, was it Mark who attacked the one for me? I'm gonna give my XP to you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
All right. And let's see here.
My turn.
Yep, Ophelia.
So I can like use my wand here,
Mhm.
right? Okay.
Correct.
Can we use like we can use Harry Potter spells, right?
Oh yeah.
All right. I
I
will
encourage you to
use
do
my
whatever you
wand
like.
to use the Sectum Sempra curse
Ooh.
on
Brutal.
the other one, not the one that is in love with Ellie.
Thank you.
Obviously. Actually, Darcy, give me a D10 roll.
Okay, gotcha. D10. A 5.
2, 3, 4. Okay. Now I know which orc is in love with you.
Okay.
Because they all have names.
Oh,
Aw, that's awesome.
I'm so excited.
Okay, Ophelia, I need you to make.
No, wait. What's Ellie's boyfriend's name?
Well, you guys haven't asked yet. I mean,
Damn it.
I need to know.
Hans.
Oh my gosh, I'm so
All right.
excited.
I just rolled a d20, right? Got an 11.
got an 11. Okay, so an 11 will succeed. And your wand will do 2 points of damage. And if memory serves, because I'm not the biggest Harry Potter nerd, but that is the excruciating pain curse.
Cut them up.
Like,
Okay, yeah. Okay.
I don't know that we're like enough years along to know that spell.
I know, I'm not.
obviously Ophelia's been in the restricted section.
Yeah.
It's dark magic.
Talk my way into it.
Okay, now would be the orc's turn.
No.
So we are going to have one of the orcs will, the one that's getting kind of beat on, is going to randomly pick
Like
a
little orange owl.
Well, that's true. Yeah, you know what? I think that's what he will do. Is he will make an attack on your owl.
Oh, he won't.
Actually,
That's not
so
nice. You should not hit
after
animals.
the owl is clawing at him, he kind of like takes he's got like a club,
The tennis racket.
which is really like just like a stick with some nails in it, and he like swipes at Twinkie. And Twinkie goes down, and there's like a puff of feathers, and
Oh, no.
and then the bird kind of like gets up from the floor and flies back to you, and he's a little bit wounded, and he's a little worse for wear.
Kaye is really distraught about that. So.
Okay,
I catch the bird in my hand and I'm petting it, and I'm out for the next round pretty much. So I'm trying to get
All right, and
Trying to make
the other orc is
My
like
boyfriend?
he looks like he looks around, and he like he's kind of like looking at all of you and looking at Ellie, and then like he kind of just like shrugs and he goes and he like steps next to Ellie and kind of like tries to kind of does the
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I like, scrunch up my face, but I'm like kind of letting it happen. It's okay.
leading
with
him
it.
on. That's
She
terrible.
likes the bad boys,
All right.
Is he a cute orc? How cute are we talking? Is this an Urukai or like the not Urukai ones, right?
This is
The buff ones are not.
He's only got 2 wards.
this is a Cypher System orc, so it
Oh.
looks like that.
I'll take it. That looks pretty cool. I'm into it.
I
Ellie's
mean,
into it.
this one's fairly buff. I mean, he's not quite as flabby as the other one, so it could be
He's been
worse.
hitting the gym.
I can tell he's a sensitive one too.
Oh, and then the cat comes in
As
the
a
frame.
kid,
That's
I'm so loved. So loved today.
Okay, and now we've got opportunities for Nigel and Flashbang to make their actions.
So what's the current status of the one that hit the bird?
So the one who hit the bird, so he's been clawed up, like his face is all like clawed up from bird attacks, and the rest of him has all these like open wounds that are like weeping blood from Ophelia's curse, and he's looking pretty bad.
Okay.
One good hit might be able to take him out.
In my additional equipment list thingy,
Mm-hmm.
it says that I have a jeweled weapon.
Yes.
Is that like a weapon that can be used, or is it just fancy?
That is a weapon that can be used that is also fancy.
Okay. Could it be like a light mace?
Yeah, if you want. It could be a medium mace if you want.
That would be cool.
Okay.
Sweet.
I would like to hit him with it.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure how to approach it. I've never done an action in this game, so.
So.
It's a good action. Good first action.
Yeah.
With a jeweled mace, you're gonna beat up an orc.
Pretty epic.
It's like it
Oh.
looks kind of like one of those
King scepters, you know.
like well, I was thinking more like one of those I can't remember what they're called. It's the holy water sprinkler doohickey
Aspergillium.
that they use during like the really big high festivals in Catholic churches. It's one of those. It's all gold and it's got big jewels on it. It's like, you know, rah.
I stole it from the Pope.
There you go.
I might.
It really suits your name, that's for sure.
So you're gonna have to make a roll against this guy's defense. If you would like to put effort into the attack roll,
Okay.
you can make the difficulty a little bit easier. Or if you would like, you can put effort into the damage to increase the amount of damage that you'll do. And that will add 3 points to the 4 that this weapon would normally do. So you'd do a total of 7, which would be a pretty beefy hit.
Yeah. I've been rolling so bad, I almost think that I have to do it to, like, make it easier.
4 points of damage is still very respectable.
Yeah, so, what, do I have to spend any points for that, or do I just roll?
Yeah, so effort costs 3 points, minus the edge from the stat that you're using. And you're using a melee attack, so that's going to come from either might or from speed. Your choice. And basically the difference would be, like, if it's a speed attack, then it's more finesse than it is, like, brawn. And if it's a might, then it's more like, I'm just going to do the, you know?
I hit it with my mace.
Yeah. I'm going to mace the guy with my mace.
I think since I'm not trying to, like, distract him or anything, and I just want to kind of take him down, I'll go with might.
Okay.
Awesome.
And you said that was 3 points?
3 points minus your edge. You have an edge of 1, so it's going to cost 2 points.
Okay. And then I roll a d20?
Yep.
So I now just got the image of her having a jeweled can of mace that she's like spraying at the guy.
You know, I thought about that after the fact. I was like, that would be so epic.
I'm rolling so bad.
So
But you got it though.
the
The second one.
the 5 was it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so that's gonna miss by 1,
Oh.
unless. Now, do you have an experience point at this point?
I don't know.
I will give her my EXP to use.
Okay, so Kai is gonna spend his experience, and you get to re-roll.
Yay, hopefully I don't suck this time. Yes!
Oh, perfect.
Wow.
Wow. All right, so.
Awesome.
Thanks,
A
Nick!
lot of different things happen on a 20. So first of all, you get the points that you spent on effort back
Oh, sweet.
because you roll the 20. So you get your 2 points back.
Yay!
Second, you definitely hit, and then you have an option. You have a choice to make, which is you can either do, I believe it's +4 damage, or you can do a major effect. And major effects are basically sort of loosely defined awesomeness.
Okay.
And
Amazing.
I usually allow the player who rolled to petition me for a specific major effect if that's what they go with, or you could just do the extra damage and really bash this guy's brains out. It's up to you.
For this one, I'm just gonna go with the extra damage.
All right, so you're going to do a total of 8 points of damage before his armor, which is going to hurt, and you just kind of come in and just bonk. And you, like, knock his helmet askew, and, like, you kind of, like, mangle his face, and he just goes down, poof, and he's laid out, just flat out on his back. Like, he's definitely the chubbier of the two guys. Like, his orky fat is still kind of quivering a little bit, like you dropped a big bowl of Jello. It's like, brr. But he is down for the count.
So before you swung, you heard you heard Kaye say to Twinkie, "That mace she's carrying looks rather heavy. She should probably choke up on it." So,
Nice.
to explain the EXP roll size.
Nice.
Nice. All right. So the that went pretty quick. That was one round, which is about I think 10 seconds. It's either 10 or 15. I can never remember. It's too many game systems and too many rounds that are in seconds.
Yeah.
If we are no longer in initiative, can I disarm the one that I just knocked out? Please?
Yeah.
You totally can. So he has a shield, and he has a let's see. He's got a crude club. Let's say. It's like a nail bat type club.
So I turn to my orc boyfriend and I say, "Hey, baby, sprechen Sie talk?"
He kind of like. And he says, Christoph speak good.
Awesome. I like fondle his chin a little bit and say, "That'll do."
And he smiles and he's like, he's really just got like one tooth here and one tooth here.
Oh my gosh, awesome.
To Twinkie, I wasn't aware that orcs had Anglo-Saxon names. I thought it was just like grunt and rock and other things. I guess I should do some more reading.
Don't be so racist, Kai. All right, so the other students kind of like give a sort of half-hearted cheer because they're very confused by Christoph. They're like, "Wait,
What's happening?
what?" But they're pretty psyched because the other guy got laid out.
Yeah.
And they're no longer being like prodded into going towards the conservatory where the other orcs are. And this was quick enough that, and it didn't really get a chance to make a lot of noise, so you haven't drawn the attention of the orcs that are further down the hall near the conservatory. There's about a dozen students with you now. What do you guys want to do?
I would like to make the suggestion that we give them the shield and the club and tell them to try and get out of the building. Because having them with us if we're trying to beat up bad guys is probably not the best plan.
Yeah, that sounds great.
All right. So you give them the shield and the club, and one of the older kids who plays the magical equivalent of lacrosse. I don't have a name for that, but it just seems like something that they would do here in the U.S. is have like magic lacrosse. He says, "All right, I'll make sure that these folks get to get to safety," and they head across the hall towards the lifts and they start going down towards the lower levels, which is where the classrooms are, and then eventually the exit out into New York City.
Excellent.
The dogs did not like that.
That was super abrupt.
Let's see.
So,
here. We got some
Kaye's...
congratulations from Judd Goswick. Says, "Go Flash, go! Buckle that swoosh."
Nice.
And a comment about my nail bat being the most noble of armaments.
Kaye is petting Twinkie, making sure his feathers are not ruffled, and saying that, I wonder where the professors are all at this time. I mean, there seems to be, orcs amuck in this place, isn't there, Twinkie?
Can I try to get a premonition about what's happening in the conservatory?
You
Because
certainly can.
I want to know what's happening in there, but I also don't want to stick my face in there. Reasons.
It's probably a good idea. Yeah, you can try.
All right, cool. I'm gonna spend effort on this.
Okay.
Excellent.
I'm gonna make this a level 4 difficulty.
Okay.
So with the effort, that'll be a level 3.
An 8. I just missed. Okay.
You've got an experience.
I do, but I've been rolling like crazy. Let's use it. It's
All
Die
right.
Hard. You have to use the experience. Use it if you got it. 15.
There you
Or
go.
you hit it.
All right.
All right. So now, correct me here. Premonition gives you a view of.
I learn oops, sorry. I learn one random fact about a creature or location that's pertinent to a topic I designate. So like it's just up to you.
Okay, so one random fact about the conservatory, or what do you want to name as your target?
Yeah. So that my topic is going to be like.
The guy in the tracksuit.
Did I see the guy in the tracksuit? Probably.
I believe you did, yeah.
Sure.
All right.
I think he's in there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll work.
So one random fact about the guy in the tracksuit. I'm going to give you two random facts.
Ooh.
So the gentleman's name is Carl Derwild,
Oh,
and
yes.
he is a werewolf.
Oh man.
Carl. Gosh. Also, like, only a few minutes ago did I get the significance of the Paddington Bear, so excellent job, Dwayne. Nigel Fingerbottom finally got it. Took me a while. Okay, so I know that he's a werewolf. Cool.
Yeah. Does anybody else want to do anything while you guys are milling about in the halls? Or should I drop some GM intrusions on y'all? Because that's always an option. I'm just
I
saying.
have a skill to like assess danger, but I don't think I need to do that to know that it's dangerous. But I can do that.
I also have scan, but it's only limited to a 10-foot cube, so this seems like a bigger area than that.
But I mean, yeah, I can assess danger. Will it tell me like how dangerous it is, or
Right.
like I don't really know what that does other than say it's dangerous.
Well, that's a roll, right? I mean, that's a ability of yours.
Yeah,
Let me take a look at that real quick.
it's my investigative skill.
Let's see. That is from, I believe, your jovial. Yeah, why don't you give me a roll?
Oh, I got it too.
You lack the necessary information at this time to be able to give a proper assessment.
It's like the magic 8-ball thing of try again later.
Yeah.
Would some quiet footwork to look around at the entrances and exits to the area to see if there's anybody waiting around them be okay?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Why don't you give me a stealth roll, which comes from speed.
Okay.
Do you have training? I think you might.
I'm not sure. I'm sorry.
Nope, no problem.
I have, like, I'm eager to learn and I've made a study of the world. I've practiced with all weapons. And then, like, some inabilities. And no abilities relevant to the stealth.
Okay. Well, if you'd like to spend effort, that would come from your speed pool.
Okay.
Otherwise, you could just make an unmodified roll and see what happens.
I guess I will just try a roll. We'll see how it goes.
Okay.
11.
All right. 11 is enough for you to escape the notice of the orcs, who are clearly the foot soldiers in this situation. And you kind of make a circuit of this floor, and you're able to assess that at this point they've corralled most everybody else into the conservatory, and that a group of them have actually gone up into the upper floors where the teachers, the faculty, that's the word I was looking for, where the faculty have their rooms, and then at the very top of that would be where the headmaster has his rooms. So you know that there's a group that's broken off.
Is there a clear path to the teacher's wing?
So you get the same way that you get between all the other floors. So you go up, you take the lift thing. So you're sort of in the middle of the school, And below
Yeah.
you is classrooms. Above are student dorms, and then faculty dorms, and then the headmaster's office at the very top.
Maybe we should go try to rescue the teachers if they're not with us.
I lean more towards rescuing the kids first.
Well, the teachers can help us rescue the kids. How many are there? Are they orcs?
You are not sure about exact numbers, but you
Sure.
think that there's around a dozen.
Oh, way too many. Way too many.
Not too bad, actually.
No way. Do we know these parts of the school, or are they hidden? Or are they? I mean, have we been there and so on? Do we know kind of the layout and stuff?
Like the faculty area?
Yeah.
I mean, it's you've probably been up there like once or twice, for like tutoring or after office hours or something. And all of the layouts for the individual floors are follow a pattern. So all of the classroom levels are the same. All of the student dorm levels are the same. The faculty dorm levels are very similar to the student dorm levels, but the rooms are just bigger, and there's fewer of them to sort of compensate. So, I mean, you guys have like a general idea of the layout. None of you have ever been to the headmaster's office, which is at the very, very top. Because it's actually like he has an office which is on the classroom level, and then he has like his chambers, which is at the very top, and you don't usually get to go visit.
Ellie has definitely lied a lot about having been up there one time, so that's a thing.
Hey, Ellie, haven't you been up there a lot?
Oh yeah, I go up there like all the time. We should go. It'd be great. A great place to defend from,
Maybe Flashbang's right, though. We should save the kids.
Yeah.
We haven't
no.
been into this school as long as Nigel have we, Twinkie? He probably knows this place a lot better than the rest of us. Since he's
that's a
been here
great
for
point.
about 4 years.
I spend here most of my time in my room, but
All right, so I am offering this is a party GM intrusion.
Ooh.
So everybody is going to get 1 point because I know that all of you do not have the 1 point to spend to counter this. So everybody's going to gain 1 experience point, and I am going to intrude. You guys spent too long hemming and hawing and deciding what you wanted to do, and not enough time finding a decent place to hide while you did that.
Come at us!
A group of 3 orcs
Oh no.
from the conservatory sees you and comes charging down the hall at you. Like,
Fly,
"Ork, ork, ork,
fly."
ork, ork, ork."
Kristoff,
Gotta
help me!
Running.
I'm gonna onslaught the first one.
Well, hold on. I need initiative rolls.
Okay.
Oh, I'm saying that we should run.
I second that emotion.
Why? Oh, 4.
Ellie got a 15. Not bad.
Not bad.
Kaye got a 17.
Ooh.
All
Flash
right,
also
so
got a
Kaye's got a 17, which is a level 5. Ophelia,
Oh, sorry. 11.
11, which is a level 3. Flashbang looks like a 17,
Mm-hmm.
so level 5. Nigel,
Once again, I rolled a 6, which is reduced down to a 3.
Dang.
all right, so you have a level 1, which will be a fail. Ellie got you said level 5? And let's see, Mark has a level 1. All right, so
However, Nigel is Craven, and he already declared that he is going to run.
Yes.
Isn't he like trained in run or specialized in this?
I am trained in running, escaping, fleeing, and wheedling.
nice.
That's canon, by the book.
Nice. All right, so let's see here. Everybody but Nigel and Mark will get to go before the orcs, and then the 2 of them will go. So, who would like to take an action of the 4 of you?
If I go if I attack first and I do it fancy, and succeed, everybody gets a +1 bonus to their next die roll.
Yeah, awesome.
All right.
I could go
Okay.
first. And...
Let's game
Sure.
this. Yeah.
Plus,
So
I'm kind of the one who would like run up like an ounce.
Yeah.
Well, there's that too.
My language is definitely not appropriate. I'm sorry. Yeah. So I'd probably, if I saw them coming towards us, I'd probably like straight up run at them
With your club.
with my club.
Okay.
Probably do some fancy footwork, spin around a little bit, pirouette.
Sweet. All right. Why don't you give me an attack roll? And as before, you have the option to either add effort to attack, effort to damage, or just make a roll.
Flashbang looks fancy while she fights, doesn't she, Twinkie?
I am gonna add effort to make it easier to hit them. I think I'm gonna do that from speed.
Okay. This sounds like a speed action,
Yeah.
given the way you described it. So that'll still cost you only 2 points because you've got 1 point of edge.
Okay. Oh my god.
What did you roll?
4.
Do you have any XP?
I don't think so. No.
You have at
You
least
can
one
tell.
because everybody got one.
Okay, I have 1. Then
You could re-roll it if you wanted to.
I'm going to, because that is atrocious. If it's worse this time, I'm probably gonna cry. 12.
Okay, so a 12 will, with your level of effort to hit, means that you hit a 5, level 5 or higher, which is more than enough to hit an orc. So you're going to do 4 points of damage to one of these orcs, which will put him with a bloody nose as you smack him in the head. Bonk. And then everybody else will get choose any number of creatures within short range who can see you, and each of them gains a +1 bonus on their next die roll. So the rest of the group. Okay. Who is next? Kai, Ellie, Ophelia,
Enio.
somebody.
Ellie's gonna go with what seems to work and get some more orc boyfriends. So,
Oh, you're gonna make one jealous.
we can work it out, baby. Don't be hurt. Okay, I rolled a 12. Is that good enough? Oh, a 13. Another jam intrusion. Oh no.
Do you want it?
Yeah.
All right. You have an experience to give away.
Okay. How about I give it to Bree and Flashbang? And she just got us that juicy +1 die roll bonus.
All right. So you said you rolled a 13, which would be a level 4, right?
Yes.
All right. So you succeed in enthralling this orc, but you actually make Kristoff jealous, and he and that other orc start fighting amongst themselves. They're like, ah!
Kristoff, no!
2 birds, 1 stone.
Yeah. It'll work. I'll find more orc boyfriends. It'll be fine. Cool, that's my turn.
We don't appreciate you talking about hitting birds with stones. We really don't, do we?
Oh boy.
Alright, I'm gonna try to stupefy one of the orcs that is not fighting with Kristoff.
Awesome.
Stupefy. Okay.
17.
Oh my gosh, sweet.
Wow. All right. So let's see here. What was that? Just an attack, or did you want to use one of your special abilities?
That was just an attack.
Okay. So that'll do 2 points of damage from your wand, right?
Yes.
All right. So, okay, you hit the one that was already kind of bloodied from Flashbang's attack, and he kind of reels back a little further, and he's like blinking his eyes now. It's like little things kind of go off in his face.
Awesome.
Kai, you are the last of the high initiative folks.
I am going to use hedge magic to
Okay.
make it look like that the dragon is breathing fire.
All right, I'm gonna
That
say.
sounds good for me.
I'm going to say that because you're using this in a you're exceeding the bounds of the ability slightly. I'm going to make it one step more difficult for you, but I will allow you to make the attempt.
Yeah, it's not to do damage. It's just to intimidate and scare off, maybe.
Yep. No, I understand what you're going after here. I'm gonna give them a bonus of 1 to their normal resisting of intimidation.
All right. I rolled a 16.
Okay. Let's see here. There was 3, and one of them. So give me a D6 roll.
Uh-oh. 2.
2. All right. So the two orcs that were not currently fighting over Ellie's affections, they stop short as this dragon breathes fire at them apparently.
This
and
completely
they immediately
felt
turn
dragon.
and run the opposite direction. They start barreling on their turn. They start barreling back towards the conservatory, but they're also yelling at the top of their lungs in orc language, or their guttural language. They're like dragon, 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 dragon.
Nice.
Meanwhile, the other Kristoff and the other one are like pummeling each other, and it's senseless. Let's see here.
So that's their action.
So that was their action, yes.
Is it just me now?
It is Mark and Nigel.
Well, I think they're gonna alert the other one, so I'm gonna onslaught one of the ones that are running.
Okay. You want to get the one that was already blooded?
But yeah.
I think it's time.
No,
to go.
actually, I was gonna go really hard. I was gonna go for the other one.
Okay.
And I'm gonna use. I get the one intellect point for onslaught is edge, so I'm gonna use effort and the wand.
Okay, so that'll be 5
5
points to add 5 points of damage. Yep.
Yep. So let's see here.
That'll do. So you do a total of 7 points of damage?
Yeah. 2
Damn.
plus 2 plus 3. Yep.
All right. So describe how you'd kill this orc.
Well, it's just a wave or a bolt of force against his back, so he falls to the ground.
Okay.
Nice and simple.
Does it look like flame?
No. It has a bluish-white tint.
All right. So one of the orcs continues on. The other one just kind of crumples, just like it's almost like his skeleton just turned to jelly. It just kind of goes thud, and like skids a little bit on the floor, like. Nigel.
So now, just to kind of recap, we were going to go somewhere, but that's not the direction that this last orc is running, right?
You were all kind of trying to decide what you wanted to do, but you were in the middle of the hallway when you did it.
Okay.
And then these orcs came running at you from the direction of the conservatory. Were intimidated to the point of fleeing in cowardice, and turned around and ran back towards the
You're
conservatory.
raising the alarm, basically.
Yeah.
That one.
That's bad.
That's bad. That's
So-
scary.
So let's run. Let's get out of here. So.
Stinky!
Oh, okay. Well, then he goes, "Don't call me Stinky." So everybody knows you don't call me Stinky. And with that,
Awesome.
I go into Frenzy, which I do for free, so that's cool. I can't use points for my intellect pool, but I gain +1 might edge and +1 speed edge.
Wow.
It's an enabler, so it is not an action. And then as my action, I run in the direction in which we maybe are going. I guess I'm still a little unclear exactly the layout of this thing.
So you're
But
chasing after the orcs?
That are heading back towards the conservatory.
There was just one left, right?
Well, there's the other one that's fighting with Kristoff.
oh, okay.
They're
Well,
occupied.
okay. All right. Yeah, I go after the one that's running away.
Okay.
I don't know what kind of. I am trained in running. Can I catch up to him and just bowl him over?
Yeah, give me a difficulty 4 speed roll.
Okay, speed. All right. So now I have a. It's been a little while since I played this, so let me think. I will apply a level of effort to make that easier, so I'll have to spend 2 points from the pool.
No, didn't you get an extra edge? You got an extra edge, so it's cheaper.
Yeah, but I
Nice.
don't have any edge in speed.
Okay.
So that is going to be, I rolled this dice says difficulty 5 plus 1.
Oh, wow,
so that'd
okay.
be- yeah.
So it's a 17.
Yeah, 17. Actually, with
Alright.
the plus 1 from Flashbang would bring it up to an 18. So
So
Oh, you're
level
right.
6.
he's pulled his Paddington Bear mask over it. He's just kind of running. Bonks right into him.
So you get all mad, and you pull a Han Solo in Star Wars. You just go, and start running after this orc / stormtrooper. And you catch up to it like right as it's turning the corner to like head towards the conservatory, and you like tackle this thing like the water boy, you know, and just
Yeah.
and the rest of you see Nigel just kind of fly off the handle, go barrel it, taking off, top speed down the hallway, and then totally takes out this orc, just pro football style.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you also hear like the raised alarm of the other orcs that were in the conservatory.
Oh.
Because I am going to throw another GM intrusion at the whole party.
Time to run back.
Yeah.
So everybody gets one more experience point to your total. I am not keeping track for you, by the way, so you definitely want to make sure you do that. And now you have the whole group of orcs and Carl alerted to your presence. And poor Nigel is like, tackled one of these to the ground at the other end of the hall.
I'm out of my mind. Yeah. I'm beyond.
He might keep going.
Would I be able to like aim you, Nigel? Like
I don't know. I don't know.
So I run after Nigel.
All right, so Mark the Dragon is running after Nigel. Who else is joining him?
Would control the field apply to my allies as well?
Control the field.
It's a melee attack that inflicts less damage, but allows me to maneuver people into a position.
So if you wanted to smack one of your allies, you could do that. Yeah.
Do you have to deal damage when you hit somebody, or is that like a...
I think that's the intent, is that this is sort of like, it's an attack with enough force to actually push somebody.
Because if necessary, we might be able to get Nigel to go a different direction at least.
I would like to use my 2 EXP
Oh.
to create, in true Die Hard fashion, a fire alarm on the wall. And pull it.
Okay.
That's great.
I will allow that.
And I'm going to pull the fire alarm. Yeah.
All right, you pull the fire alarm. Let's see here. So this is a magical school. So the first thing that happens is there's like a siren. The second thing that happens is there's a sound of thunder. And as you look up above you, storm clouds are forming at the ceiling of the hallways.
Awesome.
And they very quickly begin to pour rain throughout the floor.
Does that cool the head of the raging teddy bear?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
So Ellie's whole shtick is lying to people. Can I lie that like we're gonna go fight the baddies over that way? Like,
I mean, you could try, but the baddies are definitely coming out. So, I mean,
there are better baddies. I don't know what motivates this rage.
So I can stop it as long as there's no combat going on in my range.
Okay.
So I can cool out, and I would suppose the rain probably helps with that. And
well, it would if the other orcs weren't coming out of the conservatory now.
oh my. Okay.
Yeah, like I said, I intruded on you guys. The orcs were coming.
So I'm gonna run down towards the corner and kind of set up position around the corner so I can snipe at them if they come. I imagine they're. I hope everyone else does too.
All right, so
That's where the kids are. We gotta save the kids.
there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are half a dozen orcs in addition to Kristoff and his mortal enemy.
Oh my gosh.
Who have now come out of the conservatory into the hallway. I'm going to have you guys just keep your initiatives that you rolled.
This fight looks perilous, Twinkie. We should run.
And at this time, I'm going to remind everybody that you do have ciphers, which have a lot of potentially powerful effects. So keep that in mind as you square off against half a dozen orcs here. Alternately, it may be that the orcs aren't the toughest thing out there, and so you might want to hold on to them. But I did want to just remind you, if we are,
I don't want to kill a
of the
lot
way
of students of mine, so.
Yeah, that's why I let you keep that one. I figured you'd be hard pressed to find the time to use that thing safely, which means that it's going to be fun.
Well, I'm waiting for the welcome to the party pal moment for that one.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark, since I saw the scene in the conservatory when I looked around,
yeah,
right? How did I see them coming in? Did I see any kind of entry, like a portal or something?
You did not see anything of the sort. Considering that it's the Halloween party, you think that they probably just snuck in with other people.
So I don't know how they got here.
Yeah, you don't know how they got here.
Oh, also, this is critical to the scene. It's Christmas time, right?
No, it's Halloween.
It's Halloween.
It's Halloween.
Yes.
What? All right.
What's for me?
Okay.
Not canon. Not canon.
Because reasons.
Okay, cool. There are reasons. I believe you.
Because it made more sense to have people dressed up in costume at a Halloween party.
Wizard Christmas, man. Everybody dresses up.
Hey, if you want to dress up like Santa at Wizard Halloween, you can do that. That's okay.
Excellent.
All right. So like I said, there are now half a dozen orcs in the hallway. Plus you guys, plus Kristoff and his mortal enemy.
But those two aren't really dangerous to us. They're kind of fighting it out.
Well, theoretically, no, but you never know what's going to happen. I mean,
That's Ellie's problem.
Well, for the time being, it is.
Go,
All right,
Kristoff.
so we're gonna retain the same initiative order as last time, which means that Kai, Ophelia, Flashbang, and Ellie are the first to go.
So Ellie is going to bring out a little compact she has and give a huff, and she's going to use the Cypher as a strength boost. And then she's going to run for cover. She's going to try to get behind some kind of wardrobe or something, or little chest of drawers or whatever is in this hallway we're in.
Well, you can dive into one of the rooms.
Sure.
So there's the billiards room, there's the art room between here and the conservatory. All right, so you dive into the art room.
Yeah.
Okay. And who's next? Kai, Ophelia, Flashbang.
What would we use to use our wands? I can't remember what somebody used earlier.
You can use whatever stat pool that you want to spend from.
Okay.
You're spending points, but you can. It's magic, so it can come from anywhere.
Okay. Because one of my favorite spells is Bombardo.
Ooh.
Which is basically like the equivalent of a big bomb battering ram kind of deal. And I was gonna ask if I could just do that into the bowling pin load of orcs coming towards.
Nice.
You know what? Let's say that can be a use of your control the field ability.
Okay.
And what I'll do is I'll have you spend a level of effort that instead of adding damage or making it easier, just expands the field of it to affect multiple enemies.
Okay.
So the control of the field comes from your might, and the effort for that has to come from might. So that's going to be a total of 4 points minus your 1 edge for the effort. And then, because you're using the wand, you can use that from whichever pool you want. It can be more might, or you can use it from speed, and it'll only cost 1 point because you have a speed edge.
I'm actually going to pull it from intellect.
Okay.
If that's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Because I'll probably use the other ones a lot more. So, I got a 17.
Okay. So that's going to do, let's see here, that's going to do 3 damage to one of these guys, and then it's going to barrel over 3 of them.
Yes.
Let's see here. And all right, so just to kind of recap, there's the group of you, and then a little bit further down the hall is Kristoff and his mortal enemy. And then a lot further down the hall is Nigel and one of these orcs that are both on the ground at the moment, getting soaked by storm clouds. And then there's 4 other orcs that came out of the conservatory. You flung this big magical bowling ball type thing down. You hit one of them square in the chest. He went ass over tea kettle. See, there you go. I knew I'd break my own rule.
I did it first. You're okay.
And then the 2 guys on either side of him get flung sideways and kind of stumble and fall, and that's going to slow down their. It's going to take them a turn more to get to where you guys are.
Awesome.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was going to ask how many more are coming towards us right now.
So there were a total of 4 that came out of the conservatory.
Okay.
Kaye is going to run down the hall towards the fallen teddy bear, grab him by the leg, and try to pull him back to where Ellis is. Or Elise is.
All right, so you're gonna need to run all the way down to the end of the hall to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be your action for the turn, unless you can make a level 4 speed to run that short distance.
I would have my owl do it, but I don't think it would have any chance of lifting up.
No, not unless you can somehow make the make the owl stronger. But I don't know if you have anything for that.
Not yet. So yeah, I will run down. If I can make a speed roll to get there quicker, I will try.
Yeah.
Level
4.
Level 4. I'm going to spend effort on this.
All right.
And I rolled an 8.
All right. So you run, but when you get there, you've got you just don't have quite the juice needed to be able to start going the other way.
But do I still have the +1 for fighting with panache? To make that a 9 with effort would make that a level 4?
Yeah.
All
yeah,
right.
because Flashbang did go before you, so you do get the +1. All right, so you run to the end and you kind of grab Nigel, haul him up onto his feet and start going back down towards where everybody else is.
I slide on the slick floor that's now covered in rainwater, as I get there. Grab him and start running back.
All right.
Why was Nigel on the ground?
Because he
tackled
tackled the orc.
Which he's probably still holding on to and trying to fight as I play away.
My natural scarediness takes over and I let him go, I think.
Let's see here. Ophelia, I believe, is the last of the high initiative folks.
I'm going to shoot one of the orcs that are coming towards us with the something gonna happen to his eyes, conjunctivitis or whatever that's called.
Oh, awesome.
Gonna have pus and stuff coming out of his eyes.
Ooh.
All right.
All right, so you're trying to blind him.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
I rolled a 17.
Nice.
That'll
All right.
work.
You have spent a lot of time in that restricted section, haven't you?
Yeah, she has.
Why do you
Alright.
think I'm so jovial? I can just get right past the librarian.
That's amazing.
All right, so you hit one of them, and we're gonna say it's the one who didn't get knocked down.
Hmm.
So you hit him in the face, and it like bursts into this bright light, and he just kind of staggers and is like this, and clearly not able to see at least for a few moments.
Nice.
Good.
So it is now the orc's turn. There were 3 orcs that were knocked to the ground, plus the other one that was on the ground. They all slowly get to their feet.
No.
The orc that is fighting with Kristoff, because we have a situation of orc on orc action.
The best kind.
Hey, whatever floats your boat there, Ellie. Actually, Darcy, why don't you give me a roll to see how Kristoff is doing?
Okay, Ellie has written a lot of fanfic to this, type of thing. However, she only rolls a 7.
She only rolls a 7. Okay, so Kristoff is actually starting to lose to this other orc.
Oh no, your
He's looking like he's
boyfriend!
getting pretty beat on.
Wait. She charmed the other one more recently, so that's a good thing.
I guess, yeah.
At least you have a spare.
But Kristoff.
Kristoff was the
Kristoff was
weakest
my
link.
first.
They're actually brothers, you see. The 2 brothers from Die Hard, you know.
Excellent, yeah. Of course.
Oh Lord. Okay, Mark and or Nigel.
You're always hitting on my women. No.
I guess I'll
I saw her first.
the 4 that have come have already on the ones in the front.
Yeah, I mean they're they got held up by being blinded and bowled over like bowling pins, but they are coming.
Okay, I have an adhesion cipher. What does that do?
Ooh.
Okay.
You can tell me.
So that is. Let me find that.
Because I was
So
thinking
do
if
not-
it's like a sticky glue field, then I'll just throw it on the floor. Slow them
Yeah.
down a
So
little bit.
adhesion allows for automatic climbing of any surface, even horizontal ones, and lasts for 20 minutes.
Oh, joy.
So it is not an attack cipher.
So are any of the 4s that were coming standing?
They all are now. They all spent their actions getting up. Except for the blind one who just spent his action being blind.
Well, I guess I'll just
Work.
onslaught one of them for 2 points with the wand.
Okay.
1 moment.
So a 4-point mental onslaught.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I was thinking a physical onslaught.
Your
Can
choice.
Can I do a mental onslaught with the wand?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, then I'll do that.
Okay.
Okay. 18.
Ooh, that's +2 damage.
Are you doing like legitimacy or something?
Ooh. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That
What was
was my
that?
dork showing. Oh my god.
Do it.
I don't know the Harry Potter spells. What
That's
was
the
that?
one where you invade their mind to read their thoughts and memories.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. So
6 points. 6
I'm
points
gonna-
of damage.
I'm gonna go ahead and do because I'm surprised I'm not getting that many intrusions from the audience. The audience
Yeah.
are missing out on their opportunities here. But I'm gonna do this for Mark. You gonna take it?
Yeah.
All right. Who gets the extra?
I'll give it to Flashbang.
All right. So you cast a spell and you invade this orc's mind, and you're actually gonna kill this orc.
Ooh.
Oh,
Sorry.
In the process of doing this, though, you are able to dig into its memories and
Oh, no.
and kind of see what happened when this, like, how the orcs got here and who they came with and everything. But You're still in his mind when he dies, and it stuns you, so you're gonna lose your next action.
Awesome.
Aww.
You see
But
the
you
life of his
have
orc.
some answers now that you may or may not find useful.
What were
And
the
I'll
answers?
tell you those after the combat.
Okay.
Or at least until once after the next turn when you're no longer stunned. How about that? Nigel is the last one to go.
Okay, so he says, he kind of shakes his head a little bit, and water kind of sheets off the big London fog hat that he's wearing, and he's like, "Cover my back!" And then I do Far Step, which costs 1 intellect point, and I jump right over the top of everybody and land sort of like the Beast from the X-Men movies, sort of like doing a power squat. Boom, on the other side. I'm like.
So Kaye was pulling you, and then all of a sudden you stand up and disappear. Now he's like staring at a bunch of orcs now.
That's why I said, "Cover my back!" And then I jump out of there.
This is what you get for letting the Craven guy go back to being Craven.
Yeah.
Should have kept on calling him Stinky.
And so I'm on what is that, a long distance, I think.
Yeah, so you basically move to the other end of the hallway.
Yeah, I'm out of there.
If you want, I'll actually let you go all the way into the library, which is at the very end of the hallway, if you so desire.
I so desire. Absolutely.
So you actually hit the doors to the library, like it's like a pair of doors that kind of like swing in or whatnot.
Yeah.
You hit the doors and you just kind of keep on going, and you end up in the library.
Cool. I love it.
All right, and we're now back up at the top of the action order. So it's going to be Kai, Ophelia, Flashbang, and Ellis again, or Ellie.
Can Kaye go first since he's in the front of the thick of things now?
If you want.
All right. I have on my character sheet a pocket watch. Is that all right? Because I don't.
Your grandfather's pocket watch, or
Pocket watch.
we should bring in all the Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that.
So I'm gonna pull out the pocket watch out of my pocket, make a big motion of me hitting the stopper at the end of the pocket watch, slide it on the ground towards the orcs, and book it.
Ooh, awesome.
All right, give me a deception roll.
Okay, I'm gonna put effort into this. Would this be intellect?
That would be intellect, yes.
Okay. So I rolled a 7, so that would be level 2, so 3 because I put effort in.
All right, so you mimic like you're activating a grenade and chuck your watch at these guys and then run in the other direction.
Correct.
All right. Once it's their turn, you'll find out what happens.
Okay.
Ellie's gonna say like, "Everybody get down! It's gonna blow!" And she's gonna try to like be real afraid of the thing, and she's really good at deception, so it's very convincing. So that's gonna be maybe what she's doing.
All right.
A bunch of
I don't think you need to make a roll for that since.
that
All
just is.
Flashbang or Ophelia?
I have a question. Were we supposed to get a cipher before we started playing, or do we just make up the cipher? Because
No,
I didn't.
I did give everybody ciphers. You have an effort enhancer.
Okay.
Which, let me see here. What does that do? So an effort enhancer. For the next hour, the user can apply 1 level of effort to any task, including combat tasks, without spending points.
Oh, okay.
The level of effort provided by this cipher does not count towards the maximum amount of effort that you can apply. So it's actually like a totally free level of effort.
Okay.
Wow, that's
Pretty
crazy.
awesome.
Did not know that.
But it's non-combat.
No, this is a combat one. So it
Oh,
applies
okay.
to everything.
It would be useful also for me to know what one, because I don't think I have it written down, and I feel really dumb for that.
You have an inferno wall.
Whoa.
What?
Well,
It's
throw
pretty
that
much what it
stuff
sounds
down.
like. It's pretty much what it sounds like. It's a wall of fire.
It's a wall of.
you know, it's a big old wall of fire.
Oh, too bad the
Wall.
sprinklers are gonna put it out.
Yeah, creates a wall of extreme
There's
heat.
magical fire.
Yeah, creates a wall of extreme heat, 30 by 30 feet, 1 foot thick. That inflicts damage equal to its level, and it is a level 4 to anything that tries to pass through it. So yeah, it's a big old wall of fire.
Awesome.
Nice.
While Kai and Ellie have been pretending that the bomb is going to detonate, is there, I guess there's a ceiling up above us or a chandelier of some kind?
There's a ceiling above the storm clouds that are raining out upon you.
Okay. I will cast a spell on the ceiling for like a couple of the huge giant stones to drop down. Not like enough where it'll all be raining down and blocking it, but just like a couple so it'll hit like 1 or 2.
Okay.
Just a couple massive rocks.
Yeah, just a couple. Maybe squish 1 or 2.
It's literally the equivalent of rocks fall, everyone dies, right?
Oh, I got a 4. So
Everybody
maybe
go home.
So what did you roll?
I got a 4.
Okay.
But I have,
I'll spend an XP so you can reroll that.
I have 2 XPs too. I got a 3.
XP in the wrong direction.
You slip on the water.
Yeah, I probably slip on like the watch that you threw.
Ooh.
Yeah, like oh crap.
Now he's a lot further down the hall.
Oh, okay.
So you attempt your spell and you just
I forgot
a little
the
bit
spell.
of dust that kind of comes down, but that's about it. You know, just not strong enough to move the ceiling.
Ellie says, it's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
Oh god.
Nice. All right, so Flashbang, I believe you have not acted yet.
Is there like a hold your action kind of thing here, or are you just go?
If you want to hold your action, you can hold your action. Yeah.
I just wanted to wait and see what the orcs do in response to the fake grenade,
Okay.
and do whatever I can after that.
Sure.
Okay, cool, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. You know, anybody, you can always go after you would normally go. It's the other way that's the problem. All right, so the orcs, they buy this gambit hook, line, and sinker.
Yes.
So the watch goes skittering through the water on the floor, and Kai starts sprinting back towards where the rest of you guys are.
Too bad there's not going to be an explosion behind me. You're going to have that shot.
Right.
And
Hedge magic.
we go into slow-mo time, and so it's
Yes.
footstep, boom, water,
Splash.
splash. And then the camera pans slow-mo style over to the orcs, and you see 4 orcs that can see, do the
Yeah.
and they dive out of the way. Ooh! And then there's the one blind orc who's just what? And nothing happens. But all these
That's
orcs
so
just
good.
totally belly flopped into the water to get away, and then nothing happens. Just more sound of thunder and rain. And
That's when the
orcs look up and they look down. They look at each other and they look down the hall at you guys and they look pissed.
Awesome.
That's when the blind orc actually can see, and he looks down at this pocket watch at his feet, and he picks it up.
Yeah, and the 5th one kind of goes, oh, okay. Yeah, he goes, and he sticks it in his pocket. And Darcy, I need another roll for Kristoff.
Yes, sir. My boyfriend. Christoph, my boyfriend. An 8, doing slightly better. I should have said effort for Christoph or something.
Slightly better, but not better enough.
No.
He is definitely getting his butt kicked by this other orc.
Oh, Kristoff.
If somebody doesn't help him, he's gonna go down in the next round.
Oh my gosh.
Do you want
Okay.
me to help protect your boyfriend?
Yes. Desperately. Oh.
All right, so we've got Flashbang, Nigel, and Mark at the back end of the round here. It's raining Kai is like finally like Kai is like sprinting down the hallway like.
I want to GM and choose myself here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna crash into these two orcs that are fighting as I try to stop.
Just
No,
do
no,
it.
no, that might not be. I'm just. It's not my turn, so.
Yeah, it's not your turn.
Yeah.
But I might do that. We'll see. All right, who wants to go? Does anybody want to go?
Yeah. So I'm in the library now, right?
That is
So
correct.
I'm in like a different area, but I can see this going on out in the hallway.
Yep.
So I guess if anybody is paying attention, which probably no one is, I sort of produce a steaming cup of tea, Earl Grey, out of my thing, pinky out, drink that down, and that's a Cypher. That's my speed boost Cypher.
Okay.
So I have +1 speed edge for an hour.
That's great.
All right. So you stop for a cuppa.
Yep.
Let's see here. What is a null field?
So a null field is basically, I think it makes you semi-immune to whatever effect it is.
It's acid, so whatever.
Uh,
Null field acid.
yeah, it gives you 5 armor against the type of damage specified.
I don't see any acid. Okay.
We can
Yeah.
find some acid. I can
Yeah,
get you some
I
acid.
can try.
It's going to be tremendous.
I already have enough green dinosaurs green dragons for one day.
If you run down to the alchemy lab, I'm sure there's acid down there.
Oh, these guys, the
So I
killing
guess
us.
I'm gonna shoot the blind one.
Okay.
I think I'll shoot him
I
for.
will give you a free asset because he is blind. He can't see you. He can't really dodge.
And I got a 4 with an a 5 with an asset, right? Just not enough.
Yeah, that's not enough.
Can I donate an XP to the cause?
I can do my own XP. I have 4, so
Oh,
I'll
okay,
use an
okay.
XP. Thank you. And I'll clear that, and then here goes. Oops, sorry. Which is enough. It's not enough.
Do you want to take my XP?
He's still blind.
Don't chase it. Don't throw
that
good
would
XP
be-
after
yeah,
that.
that would be
It never
enough.
works.
That's enough, right?
Yeah, that's enough.
Oh, nice.
Oh, there you go.
Because you had the asset, and it's a light weapon, so
Oh, perfect.
he doesn't take much damage, but he does take a little bit. Of course, he's no longer blind now, so he knows who did it. He's like, flashbang.
I don't know what to do about these guys.
Bang, bash.
There's gonna be a lot coming, so that wall would be great, I guess.
Do we want my wall of fire, or do we want to, like, I don't know, like,
Not yet, maybe.
I was thinking we'd probably use that whenever we get the next flood of, but,
The rain might put it out.
maybe, like, so are the 2 still fighting?
Yes.
Okay. And the rest are on the ground?
But it's now to
The
this
rest,
status.
the rest have gotten up, but they're still at the other end of the hallway, and they're just very angry. They're incensed because they were tricked by a pocket watch.
I really wish that we weren't all covered in water and that I had a spell that made electricity, but I don't have those things.
If I had rolled a lightning wall,
See, fix your randomness, man. I think I'll split up the fight if I can.
okay.
I will go after the one that is not Kristoff.
All right.
Kind of just try and bash his face in.
Sure.
Thank you.
He is. So you're going to be attacking a guy who's already being attacked. So I'm going to give you a +1 on your die roll because he's sort of outnumbered.
Okay.
So it's not a full. It's not a full asset, but you get a small advantage there.
Okay. I don't really feel like spending effort for this, so
Okay.
I guess I'll roll.
Roll them bones.
With the bonus, it will be 10.
Nice.
That is enough. All right, so you did. This was with your mace,
Yes.
your jeweled mace.
Yes, that is what I bash people in the face with. Specifically in the face.
Just checking. Let's see here. 1 second here. All right, so you hit him in the face for 4 damage, and he goes, "Oh, orc!"
That is appropriate.
That's what they say all the time. They say orc. That's why they're called orcs, actually. So they have a tendency to just say orc, 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 orc.
We have to catch them all.
They are not an unknown species of Pokemon. Sorry.
Part of my hope is that this will distract him away from
Squirtle.
Kristoff.
Awesome.
So
Hopefully
we'll
not
see how
to
that goes.
All right. So there are 5 orcs at the end of the hall, and the rest of you guys at the opposite end of the hall, with a pair of orcs that are, slap fighting each other. And there is a string of German cursing that you can hear over the sound of the rain and the thunder in this hallway.
Man.
Like coming out of the conservatory. You just hear like this string of like German cursing.
Nice.
Which I'm not even going to attempt to replicate. But you get the impression here from the reaction that the orcs have that they are now very much afraid of whoever is in the conservatory.
So am I.
Sounds like a challenge.
Yeah. So.
Are we gonna stay here and mess with these guys, or are we gonna go for the big guy?
So.
We have to go through these guys, don't we?
If you want to make it a full-on assault, I say we go. Right. It might not be the most prudent way to deal with the situation, but.
So, Mark, you were stunned when you invaded the mind of that orc when you killed him, and in the process, you learned a couple of facts.
Okay.
So the orcs, along with the large blonde man, Carl, and a small African-American nerdy-looking girl with like horn-rimmed glasses, and a sort of tall, dark-haired man with kind of shoulder-length dark hair and a dark goatee and a very serious, like, dour expression.
You're cutting out.
All of them came in with the orcs.
You lost me after you cut out after the girl. So
I'm sorry.
wearing glasses. What?
So there's like a nerdy little African American girl. There was the tall blonde man Carl.
Yeah.
And then there was a tall, sort of somewhat thin man with dark shoulder-length hair and a dark goatee and a permanent sort of irritated expression, who looks vaguely like the sheriff from that awful Kevin Costner Robin Hood movie.
He also looks like one of the transfer students' pictures where they went to Hogwarts. So
he also looks a little bit like a famous actor on this sci-fi show, Galaxy Quest.
So there are 3 people.
Yep. And you know that they were searching for something in the school.
Okay.
The lost item of Ravenclaw?
Nope. I'm not going to tell you what they're looking for, though. You'll find out eventually, but I'm not going to tell you. Well, I hope we wrap this up in time for you guys to find out. Let's put it that way.
It would be useful if we could find a way to corner them so I could put the firewall in the way of them.
Well, along this hallway, there's the billiards room and the studio room, as well as the library. Now, the billiards room and the studio both have multiple exits, so you might be able to draw them into one of those rooms and then trap them. If you can find a way to block the other exit after you exit, get them to come in and then.
I have a thing where I can spend identity.
Ooh.
So can I go to them, like the leader of the three, and say, like, I'm from, I don't know, your militia or whatever they're with, and try to draw them and say, we need to go to the billiards room, and then get them to go there?
Yeah, if you want to do that.
Because, my rolls have not been good.
Yeah, you can try to do that.
Okay, I will go. Which one's I guess I'll just go up to all of them and say.
Yeah, you can't really tell which one's the leader.
Yeah.
If they even have a leader.
I'll just walk up to all of them and kind of generally say, I am one of your, I don't know, like your right-hand man. Oh, wait, they can't know who I am, right? They can't know that.
Well, you're just sort of you're doing like the con artist thing where you're like, oh
Right.
hey, I'm here from the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and so you're gonna kind of like fake.
I'm from your Army's branch of intelligence, and we got some intel that everything we're looking for is in the billiards room, so we need to go there right now.
All right, give me a roll.
It's a +2 intellect points. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, so it's going to cost you 2 points.
Okay.
And then I think it's +1 for every additional target after the first. Let me just check this real quick.
Yeah, +1 for per additional victim.
Yeah, so there's a total of, if you want to get the one that's fighting with Kristoff, there's a total of 6. So that would cost you 7 points minus your intellect edge. So 6 points off of your intellect to make this happen. So it's an expensive gambit.
I got an 18.
All right. So yeah, you go up and you're like, I'm, me orc chief, me say go billiard room, and they're like, all right. Like, you don't look like an orc, but they follow you into the billiards room.
While she is going over and talking to them, can we prep the room?
Yeah.
As rapidly as we can, so that we can have an exit and everything. That would be.
Well, what I would like to do, what Kaye would like to do, is he pulls out his. Can y'all hear me still?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my mic said it's battery low, so I didn't know if it cut off. He pulls out a thermal detonator out of his robes, and it's basically a cipher, and he says, now that they fell for it the first time, Twinkie, do you think it'll work again?
All right.
Because now that I have it's actually a detonation cipher, so now they're not going to think it's a grenade, and it's actually going to blow up and kill them all.
Okay.
All right, so you're gonna lead him. So Ophelia goes up and spouts off a bunch of stuff in Orcish, which is basically just really crummy English. Me orc chieftain, you go in there, play with colored balls. And they're like, okay. So all of the orcs go into the billiards room. Ellie is you latch onto Kristoff's arm because he was gonna follow because he's just completely confused.
Yeah.
He's a little punch drunk actually because he's got a black eye and he's all beat up.
Come on, Kristoff boy, come on.
All right, so Kai, you're gonna activate this thermal detonator cipher and toss it into the room. Is that what you're doing?
And then close the door.
and close the door and presumably run.
Yeah.
All right, make a roll.
And I'm going to do it the same way I did the pocket watch. So.
Yep.
I'm definitely spending effort if I need to make a roll to get this thing in there.
You would say that you probably want to make sure that you get it in the middle of the group of them. Yes.
Please tell me that you're making the rest of us aware that this is an actual bomb.
So Ophelia doesn't like stay in there with them.
Twinkie, I really hope they know this explodes.
Because
Good
I'm
enough.
kind of a melee person here, and
So, folks,
What did you roll?
I rolled a 2.
What?
I have
I can
no
send
EXP.
you and can I give him one of my XPs?
You can spend an XP on his behalf if you want.
Yeah.
Yes.
Roll better, please.
Otherwise, this game was almost over.
A 13 with a level of effort.
All right. All right. So you throw this. You pull this little thing that looks like a thermal detonator from Star Wars.
Exactly.
You
Yep.
slide the switch forward, and it starts to blink red. And you chuck it into the billiards room, slam the door, and then run the other direction.
I roll it in the room like I did the pocket watch. Yeah.
And all right. So this is a singularity detonation.
Oh,
So
God.
it creates a black hole
Oh,
that inflicts 20 points of damage to everything within short range of its point of explosion or implosion, I suppose, and draws them or its remains into the middle. So he throws this thing, slams the door shut, and then runs and kind of gathers the rest of you up with him, except for Nigel because he's busy having tea.
Yes. We run into Nigel's room. What was Nigel's room?
Nigel was at the very end of the hall in the library.
Oh, okay. I want to make sure he wasn't in the.
Yeah, so you guys bust into the library, and as you like, start to like run into the library, you hear this sound of like, it's sort of like the opposite of an explosion. It just kind of goes, and you turn around and you see the billiards room walls just kind of like bow in, and like parts of the floor are being ripped up and parts of the ceiling are being ripped up, and all of the water, like the 3 inches of water that are on the floor in the hallway, are like rushing into this room in this torrential like stream. And you see this perfectly black sphere that swallows the entire billiards room up and part of the art room, and like just barely misses the library. and then it's gone, and there's just like a hole, and you look down and you can see like the classroom on the floor below, and it's like the water now is like going from this floor, and it's like finding its lowest point by going down into the hole, and it's flooding into that classroom. And you can look up and you can see like some poor professor's bedroom, which is now completely missing a floor and everything that was on the floor.
There's a lot of heart print boxers floating around.
Twinkie, I really hope Nakatomi was insured.
So you guys have very effectively dealt with every single one of the orcs except Kristoff.
Yay! Poor Kristoff.
Give him a kiss.
Oh, I do.
oh.
It's long and uncomfortable for everyone.
Yeah,
I'm not sure he knows what to do with it.
So
And
now
you're
you
dressed
guys
as Donald Trump, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So now you guys are in the library, and you guys notice a couple of things. So the first thing that you see is in the library, like sitting there is Nigel, and he's drinking a cup of tea, like nothing at all is amiss, except that he's sitting in a Paddington Bear costume that's bright pink and soaking wet. But otherwise, nothing is amiss. You see a clockwork soldier that is sitting at one of the tables with like a thermos of coffee and like a sandwich, and you recognize this is Sergeant at Arms Albertus Powell,
Oh my
and
gosh.
he's the school's weapons trainer.
Excellent.
And he's a clockwork soldier, but he's no longer good as a soldier because well, nobody actually knows why, but he refuses to pick up an actual weapon.
I'm just in love with everything that's happening in this whole game.
And then you notice like one of the other like research study tables has a big pile of books on it, but there's nobody sitting there.
Somebody say you're late to the party, pal. To Albros there.
Absolutely.
Because it was a Halloween party, so. I can't do that because I can't talk to Albus.
He can only address his bird.
The bird can say it.
So that's what you guys see. You guys see those 3 pertinent facts, which is you find out what happened to Nigel, you see this clockwork soldier who's one of the teachers, and you see this pile of books that seems abandoned.
Checking out the books.
Nice.
Okay.
Nigel, buddy, how you doing?
Things are better. Things are better with tea. Everything's better.
Let's see.
Oh, great.
So, if anybody who's checking out the books and wants to try to learn anything from them, give me an intellect roll. And Ophelia, you have a task. You have a skill in solving puzzles and riddles, and I'm going to say that counts. So it's going to be one step easier for you.
Yay!
And this is going to be a level 4 difficulty, so if anybody wants to apply effort to make it easier, they are more than welcome.
I will do that.
I'm totally useless on this task.
Can I assist to give her an asset?
You can assist to give her a +1, since you don't have, unless you have training in research or training in riddle solving.
Well, I have training in supernatural knowledge.
All right, I'll allow that to give you an asset then. So that.
But I am inability in social interactions, so I don't know how else to really help.
You just sold yourself back down to a +1, Andrew.
I have a skill that says that I'm trained in any task that involves learning something new.
Ooh.
That would work.
Um,
So that'll give Ophelia an asset. So Ophelia's got training and an asset, which makes it go from a 4 to a 3 to a 2. And then
I rolled an 11.
Okay, so that's going to be enough. All right. So you start looking at these books, and there's a big sheaf of like blue paper, which like you open it up and it's like blueprints of the school, and you're like, where did these come from? Like the blueprints of the school aren't something that's regularly available. Like these must have come from the back room. Like that's beyond even where the back room is. It's like the extra back room. And you manage to so you think, you can't be certain, but based on what Mark told you earlier from his, combing through the orc brain memories, and based on what Ellis told you guys about Carl, and now based on what you've got in the books here, you're pretty sure that these people here are actually here to find Nakatomi's arcane vault, which you think may be in the headmaster's living quarters, which is at the very, very, very
it's
top.
totally there.
Yeah.
Ellie.
Headmaster, that is so on the nose. Might as well be Rudolph.
Now, if you can give me one more roll, there's one other piece of information to be had here. Or if you want to just spend 3 intellect points, you can have it for free as an insight.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right.
Cool. Nice use of insight. I haven't played with that much yet, Mark. That's great.
I don't understand the whole planned insight thing and why it costs experience, so I refuse to use it that way.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So all right. So in addition to like all of this, at the very like bottom of the stack, you find a book of magic, like a tome that talks about various magical artifacts and powerful items. And it's open to a page for an item which nobody thought is real. It is Grabthar's hammer.
Oh. Oh.
And, the only thing you can surmise is that they think that Nakatomi's vault contains Grabthar's hammer.
Oh my god.
So,
That's amazing.
Kai hears you mention Grabthar's hammer, and he keeps start telling the bird everything he knows about it, and he knows a lot about Grabthar's hammer. And all of the myths and legends, and like all of these things that who thought of them and when and stuff like that, and he's convinced it's real.
I sure as heck better not have to avenge any of you bagels.
I turn to Ellie and say, Ellie, didn't you say you've been to the headmaster's quarters so you can lead us there?
Oh, of course. I mean, I go there all the time.
That's kind of creepy, but that's fine.
Should be no sweat, Bubby. Cool. So, I figure, vaguely it's like go up a bunch of floors, but I actually haven't been there. But I'm going to boldly take us there, as though I did.
I can actually.
You have the blueprints right here.
Yeah.
She kind of just peeks at it, and she's like, I know where to go. Let's go.
Oh yeah. The blueprints, they're correct. I was just checking. It's legit.
I've actually got a little friend that can help us out, and from my Pennington bear, I pull out this giant buzzing cockroach. It's about the size of a tennis ball, and it's like hissing.
Oh my gosh.
And they go map for us, little buddy. And a little wing sprouts off, and it takes off. And that's my infiltrator.
Oh, that's so good.
Cypher, which will map someplace for us and report back what it sees.
Oh, awesome.
Let's see here. It identifies layout, creatures, and major energy sources.
Dang.
And its movement is blocked by physical or energy barriers. Okay, so you send this little thing out. This little bug goes flying and disappears outside of the library. And while you guys are kind of sitting around at this table, realizing all these things, and the Clockwork Man is continuing to eat his sandwich and drink his coffee.
Is he saying anything to us?
Nope, he hasn't said a darn thing. D, did you lose sound in terms of hearing us? Or can you not speak to us? Huh. Interesting. Well, hopefully we can get that sorted. Can you hear us?
Are you talking to me?
No, I'm talking to Dwayne.
I don't think he can hear us.
I don't think he can hear us either. Huh.
You just said Darcy Ross muted D wrote.
I know. I just did that to try to mute it and unmute it, and now I can't unmute him. Oh my gosh, this is the worst.
What do you?
Apparently, muting is permanent.
No, he logged out.
Okay, he logged out. Thank God.
He just jumped out because I was trying to unmute him. Because I've got access to the control panel, so I was trying to unmute him.
Okay.
I'm gonna quickly do an invite to make sure that he can get back in. All right. So yeah, the Clockwork Man is just eating his sandwich and drinking his coffee, and he looks over at you guys and he's like, "What all are you up to?" Because he kind of realizes now that you're completely soaked to the skin, all of you, and using all Nigel just sent this little magical thing flying, and you guys are all aflutter.
Al, you gotta help us, man. There's werewolves. German werewolves here. Also orcs, but mostly it's the German werewolves I'm worried about.
German werewolves.
They're taking over the school, man. Al.
I think we've lost. I think we might have lost Dwayne.
No.
Hopefully he can get back in. All right. Well, I'm gonna keep going. So he says, "Well, I suppose I can go and give them a stern talking to."
Afraid that won't do, Al.
Says, "Well, as you know, I refuse to touch weaponry, other than the practice sort."
Coward.
Wow.
Brutal.
I have a fast talk ability that I can make convince a creature, an intelligent creature, to take one reasonable action.
All right. You want to try to convince him to help you?
Yeah.
All right. Let me.
It's one intellect point.
All right. So that would be free, but you're gonna have to make a roll.
Yeah.
So he is a level 4 creature. So it's going to be a level 4 task. You're going to need to roll a 12 or higher.
15.
All right.
Come on, Al. You gotta help us.
He he nods his head and he says, all right, I will see what I can do. Where are these German werewolves?"
Excellent. Nice. They're, we know where they're trying to get to.
And where would that be?
The headmaster's office or chambers?
Chambers, I think.
He
You
says,
should know where that is, right?
well, I guess we better get up there then.
Lead the way, sir.
All right. I'm going to... I think we completely lost him. Let me try sending that invite out one more time, and then we'll keep going. All right. So you guys head out, following behind Albertus, the sergeant at arms, and he takes you into the lift beam. And as you go up, you see Carl, the big blonde guy who is dressed either as Steve Austin or as Brock Sampson. You still can't tell which. And he just kind of gives you a glare, but he doesn't actually move to stop any of you.
Ooh.
Instead, he just stays by the conservatory, like making sure that none of the students or faculty can leave.
Huh.
And you go up into the top of the faculty area, and then he gets out of the lifts thing, and he walks down the hall, and there's a door, and he says, "This is the door to the headmaster's chambers," and he knocks. He raps on the door, and he waits. And there's,
Twinkie, I'm not sure this is a situation where we need to be polite. Oh.
He says, now, young Kai, there is never a call to not be polite.
I can think of quite a few situations.
Would one of you prefer to do something else? I mean, he seems to be perfectly content to wait for a response to his knock.
What kind of door is this?
It's a large wooden door with iron straps and a big, heavy ring over a old-fashioned keyhole.
Twinkie, I wonder if there's a floor under construction above this one.
Is there? We have the plans.
Did you bring the plans with you?
I thought we were kind of following him up, but
But did you bring the plans with you?
I had thought we did, but I did not mention it, so.
I didn't either.
If somebody wants to retroactively add the plans, they can spend an experience point. Actually,
I would-
two experience points.
Ow.
I'll do it.
All right.
okay.
All right. So you guys have the plans.
Hey.
There is a floor above this. It does not seem to be under construction, but it could be that this door leads to a stairwell that leads up to the floor above.
I'm just gonna try to open the door.
All right. It's unlocked.
All right.
Alright, oh, the door's open.
So you pull on the ring, the door opens up, and Albertus is like, he's positively scandalized. He's like, I can't believe that you would just barge into the headmaster's personal quarters.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, Al. Let's
And
go.
he harumphs, but because he's mechanical and he's steam powered, it's more like a toot of like a little steam thing. It's like, hey, welcome back, man.
Thank you. Sorry.
Twinkie, I'm
Yeah,
not
no
sure.
problem. No problem. So they have marched all of you up to the top floor, and I believe it was Ophelia just pulled open the door to the headmaster's chambers. And when you open the door, there is a set of like winding stairs that go up, and you can hear above. You can hear a bunch of different things. You can hear like the sound of like. You can hear somebody chanting like various magical phrases,
Yes.
and you're not really sure. It sounds like
Zeros and ones. In
no,
magic.
it sounds like they're trying to they're using like telekinesis or some other type of magic to like move objects, and then you hear like a rather annoyed sounding. Partially like half British, half German voice say, "Severus Spudus," and you hear like somebody yell in pain, and then a woman's voice says, "I don't understand. Why a spoon?" And the annoyed half German, half English voice says, "Because it's dull and it'll hurt more."
Terrible.
Oh, no.
Groan.
So we storm the castle?
No, God, no.
Well, I'm not just gonna sit here, so up the stairs I go.
Well, first we got to get Seal's music to play, and then Ellie's have to kiss her orc again, and then then we can go.
Sorry, I think you're thinking of Bryan Adams.
You're absolutely right. I'm thinking of a completely different song. You're right, Bryan Adams.
I don't see any man in a cape with bat ears.
I know, I went the wrong direction with that one. Whoops.
No, that'll be a different one shot.
Yes, please.
All right, so Flashbang is charging up the stairs. Is that correct? Or are you is Flashbang going up the stairs?
Yes.
All right. So you're charging up the stairs. Is anybody following?
I'll follow.
I'll follow.
Can I get on the back of my boyfriend? And can we charge up the stairs together?
You want Kristoff to piggyback you up the stairs?
Ride
Yes.
him into
He
battle.
will
okay.
totally do that because
Okay.
he's like
He's a
completely under you.
sweetheart. Perfect.
Teddy
I-
bear.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get behind the Craven, which I don't have his name anymore, and just push him up with
Okay. Well, I won't stay down there alone, so
Oh, okay.
I will hesitantly follow. Yes.
All right. So is anybody not charging up the stairs? How about that?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
All right. Good. All right. So you guys go up the stairs. And you come out into a large open floor that is like the very top floor underneath the spire of the Chrysler building, and it's all like arched Art Deco type windows all the way around. And it's a very open layout. Like there's like a bunch of tables and like bookcases and whatnot, but it's a pretty open layout. You come up at like one end of this large square area, and in the middle of the room, you see the dark-haired, sort of yay long in black robes, with like a wand, and he is torturing the headmaster.
Oh gosh.
Tagaki Yoshi. He is torturing this guy with a magical spoon.
Oh my gosh.
And there's a sort of short, skinny African American woman with these big horn-rimmed glasses, and she is like fiddling with all these different magical incantations. And there's this large, like it looks like a Rubik's cube, but instead of like colors, it's runes, and it's a rune on every single face of a total of 27 cubes. So it's a 3x3, and like every time she like does a thing, the cubes all rotate, and then they come together, and then like there's like a little and then it all flies apart again, and she's like trying different combinations of this thing, trying to get this vault to open. And this is Nakatomi's Arcane Vault.
That's amazing.
Now, Albertus is slowly, walking up the stairs because he's a gentleman. But nobody on this floor has noticed you just yet.
I would like to pick something out of my pocket, put it above my forehead, and it's a gem, or not a gem, but like a an amulet, and I will then telescope it out. So it looks really strange. It's like a telescope, and use the mind disruption array emitter on the woman at the vault.
Okay.
So that she can't act, hopefully.
Mind disruption emitter. That's a ray emitter, right?
Correct. It allows the user to project a destructive ray up to 200 feet. It inflicts intelligence damage equal to the Cypher level, which is 7, you said. Also, the victim cannot take actions for the number around equal to the Cypher level.
All right. Andrew?
I have none, so I can't deny it.
Excellent. All right. Who are you giving the extra to?
Who needs it? I will give it to the Craven to hopefully inspire him to be in this fight.
Nice.
I have 2. If
Nice.
somebody else needs one, maybe somebody else can get one. I still have 2, but I will take an XP.
Remember, you guys can always spend 8 for each other too. So, it's not like you guys are going to be taking advancements anytime soon.
Well, I mean, I am. Yeah.
Actually, let's give it to Bree then, because she's the one who gave me the one, and then also spent 2 for the map, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So, Andrew, you don't have to make a roll to attack on this.
Okay.
So you stick this thing on your head, and it creates this like unicorn horn crystal thing, and this beam goes out, and it strikes the woman just as she's uttering the next incantation to try to open the vault. And what happens is you end up in her body, and she ends up in yours.
Oh my gosh, that's adorable.
Freaky Friday.
Now,
Yes.
can I still act in 7 rounds, or am I the one stunned?
Neither one of you is stunned. You have just swapped bodies.
All right, that's fine. Okay,
That's
cool.
awesome.
But nobody else knows that you've swapped bodies.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh god.
Actually, it's going to be rather easy for y'all to tell when she starts talking to anybody.
True.
Okay,
Y'all just have to notice.
so Kai basically made them aware of you guys by using that cipher. But I'm going to let each one of you guys take one action's worth of stuff before we enter like combat time.
I'd like to stealth and try to stay hidden. I'm trained in that.
Nice. All right.
I'm gonna.
Give me a roll so I know what level you are capable of stealthing to.
Okay. And I have +1 to speed edge. I got a 5, difficulty 5.
Okay. All right. So you dive behind a couch and are hiding behind a couch. All right. Anybody else?
I'm gonna push the guy who's torturing the headmaster. And use push for 1 intellect point. I got an 18.
I'm sorry. A what?
I got an 18.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's a level 6. And does push do any damage?
No, it just pushes them a immediate distance.
An immediate distance. Okay.
Like 10 feet, right?
Yeah, that's immediate.
But he gets a minor effect. It's an 18.
Minor effect would be a 19, wouldn't it?
Smackdown!
I mean, I don't know unless I'm wrong, but I'm fairly certain
Unfortunately, you're right.
19 or 20.
Fine, okay.
Good
all right,
try.
so you hit this guy with push, and he goes stumbling backwards. Anybody else?
I will go try to help the headmaster up.
Yay.
All right, so you run over to Tagaki Yoshi.
Tagaki Yoshi.
And he's like, ugh, and he's got all these cut marks on his chest from where this like dull spoon has been like trying to carve away at him. And he looks really terrible. He's like,
Is there any possibility that I could cast my firewall to go in between the that guy and the headmaster, and also in a way that blocks the vault from people?
Not all of those things.
Okay.
You can either separate Tagaki from the bad guys, or you can separate the bad guys from the vault.
I will protect the vault.
Okay. All right. So you throw your Inferno wall Cypher, and it creates this blaze of fire that goes straight to the ceiling and like 30 feet in either direction between the vault and the two bad guys.
Nice.
Do you place it on top of anybody?
I would not do that necessarily. Like, unless they were like in the process of immediately trying to harm me, no, I would not.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I just ask because it's something I would do is place it on the woman that's casting on the.
All right, and I believe Ellis is the last to go.
Yeah. So, can you remind me? So, is it the black-haired man who's behind the wall right now, and the woman is on the other side of it? Is on our side?
They're both on your side of the wall. The vault is on the other side of the wall.
Oh, it's just the vault that got separated. Yeah. Cool. Then I want to, from my vantage point on top of my boyfriend, I would like to start talking to the black-haired man about...
Oh, wait. You're talking about Hansel Gruber?
Yes. And I would like to be babbling on somewhat citing, like, law, but like basically just babbling about how he can't be doing this to orcs and whatever, and the orcs are going to build a wall. We're going to bring the orcs in, and it's gonna be a big wall.
We're going to make the Mexicans pay for it.
We're going to make the orcs pay for it, yeah, or whatever.
All right. So this is in Thrall, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry you all have to hear this.
You're really in character of your costume.
I know. I guess it's like mixing my signals here.
All right. It is. It's going to be a level 5 task.
Cool. I'm going to spend effort, but that's all I can do. So, okay. So that's 4. A nat 20. Oh.
All right.
That is tremendous. God. That is a tremendous wall. Tremendous. It's going to be terrific.
With my tiny fingers.
All right.
You make the best walls.
So because we are at 11, and I don't want to run too much later than 11 for purposes of me needing to sleep, and the rest of you, I'm sure, needing to sleep at some point. The fact that you rolled a natural 20 is actually really provident because it means that we can give you a major effect, and you actually managed to filibuster this guy for the next 5 minutes.
Awesome.
And you're just railing at him. He's just like,
Yeah.
what is going on? And it's long enough that you're able to get Headmaster Tagaki to rally, and he is able to use his magic to banish Hansel Gruber from the building, as well as his associate Theodosius. Unfortunately, Theodosius is still mind swapped with Kai.
So I'm now falling outside the building.
No. He doesn't just teleport you outside the building. You end up in Times Square, and you're like, what just happened?
Oh my god.
Twinkie.
Yeah.
Problem is I can't talk to anybody because my bird's not with me.
What was the duration on that cipher?
7. Level 7. So 7.
All right, so it's only a couple of minutes before your minds swap back.
Oh, okay, good.
Is that really what the cipher does?
No, it was
no, that's not at all what the cipher does, but I did a GM intrusion, so.
Okay.
So you guys, and then Tagaki and Powell and the rest of you managed to go down and rout the werewolf Carl as well.
Awesome. Oh, and is there a moment where Al, basically we all think we've won, and Carl gets up for one more shot, and Al takes it out.
Pulls his silver-plated sword that he wears but never uses, and slays Carl. Totally.
Thank you. Okay, good.
Because he's a werewolf, he won't die but anything but silver. So.
Of course, because he's a werewolf.
Yeah.
So, apologies that I had to kind of ramrod the ending there, but
No, that worked out great.
I hope you guys had some fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for joining me. I hope our viewers had some fun.
Fun
see if there
fact,
was
I've
any-
never seen Die Hard.
Oh man.
I haven't seen it in 15 years. You're okay.
I just saw it for the first time in last week, so
I can't
you
believe
should
that.
watch it. It's really fun.
I definitely don't know Harry Potter as well as you guys do.
Yeah, I don't really know.
I don't know Harry Potter nearly as well as I know Die Hard. I mean, I was able to put all of this together without actually watching Die Hard recently.
Nice.
Harry Potter's kind of my jam.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
I
Yeah, I'm
figured
gonna
I would be
contact
able
you
to.
too.
I figured I'd be able to use you guys who are the Harry Potter nerds as a crutch, and I could manage to just get by with my Die Hard and my copious Alan Rickman references. Everybody got all of them, but
I'm in a Harry Potter podcast, so.
Oh my god.
wow, all right.
Bravo.
I'm so excited. I'm gonna check that out. I've been wanting to figure out how to Cypher System proper Harry Potter at some point, so we'll have to talk about it. That'd be great.
Yes.
Yeah, because this was
Keep
definitely
me in
not
the loop
proper.
on that as well.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was not proper Harry Potter, and it was glorious. It was exactly what I wanted. Thank you.
This was my best attempt at just smashing two completely not related things into something
It's
goofy
very
and
good.
fun.
It worked really well.
Yeah.
Thank
I had a
you.
great time.
Thank you. I was definitely a little bit nervous coming into it. I will be to admit. I mean, part of it being that I have never done a live thing, and part of it being that I just wasn't sure if this was going to work or not. But I'm glad that everybody had a good time. I'm going to say thank you to all of you guys for putting up with my craziness. Thank you to our viewers. We had a steady, 1 to 2-ish viewers for the past hour or so. We had a good 5 for the first hour or so.
Nice.
I apologize to Eric Fields. I missed his last GM intrusion option, but stuff happens. And that was the Cypher System. There was a recent Kickstarter, which you can still get in on at the Monty Cook Games page. They are taking a limited number of of pledge levels that are available. I will put those in the show notes if I can figure out how to do that. And put a link there. So if you want to back the Cypher System, Worlds of Cypher System Kickstarter as a post-Kickstarter thing, you can do that. And there's also a new Google Plus user group for people who are trying to learn the Cypher System, and I will put a link to that in the show notes as well, assuming I can figure out how to do that. And that is Witch Hard, everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Nice meeting everybody.
All right.
Yeah, it was a good time. Thanks.
Thank you.
Good night to the viewers. And